What's the science behind eating certain foods? Nothing. That's culture. There's no difference. Food is food. Calories are calories. It's more important if you're thinking about what foods work best for your body and do you like to eat in the morning? All right. So we got another question here. This one is from Even. I have a question for the fam. What's the difference between a breakfast, lunch, and dinner food? Nothing. Nothing. Google shows me articles like, quote, eat rolled oats and fresh berries, not sugary cereals and muffins. That's good advice. I'm not sure about the rolled oats, but you don't want to eat muffins and sugary cereals. But many people eat sugary cereals anyway, and that's not what I'm looking for. For example, most people wouldn't be eating salads, steak, iced tea, etc. for breakfast, but they will eat fruit slices, eggs, and coffee. Is it's still your fruit slash veggie protein and drink? Respectfully, what's the difference? No difference. Is there a health reason? No. For this, what's the science behind eating certain foods? Nothing. That's culture. There's no difference. Food is food. Calories are calories. It's more important if you're thinking about what foods work best for your body and do you like to eat in the morning? How many of you eat breakfast? How many of you eat breakfast? I think that's been because you have, well, when you look at breakfast foods, for example, there's steak and eggs. Like if you go to a diner or you see on a menu is very descriptive of what cultures determine as a breakfast food or a lunch food or a dinner food. You'll see steak and eggs for breakfast, and you can have breakfast for dinner. Ooh, it's just eggs. If you're having eggs, like whatever, it's only breakfast for dinner if you normally eat that for breakfast. And it's breakfast if you have it at 6 o'clock. If you haven't eaten all day, breakfast is breaking your fast. So it's very arbitrary. These are just cultural delineations. There's nothing difference. Nothing difference. I can't even speak. There's nothing different between what time of day you're eating your foods. That's bullshit. You don't have to worry about that. That's a non-issue. Whatever foods work best for your body, that's what you should be eating. And then whether or not it's more about whether or not you like to eat breakfast. I personally don't. I don't like eating first thing in the morning. I used to, I don't anymore. Now, the thing is, if you're trying to bulk, right? If you're trying to put on a lot of muscle, you're trying to gain weight, you need more opportunities. You need more opportunities to consume calories. So if you're trying to eat 3,000 calories a day, just for example, that's a lot of calories. It's going to be very hard for you to eat 1,500 calories in 2 meals and very uncomfortable, especially if you want to perform, you want to move. And plus, imagine how much time it takes to eat 1,500 calories of quality food. It might take you 2 hours or 3 hours if you could even do it. That's why a lot of people will try to use shakes or drink their calories or suck down protein shakes and shit like that just to get in extra calories, when in reality, it's better off if you spread out the meals more frequently, which is why that frequent meal concept came into popularity, because it's much easier eating 500 calories a meal 6 times a day than eating 3,000 calories at one time. Because if you're trying to eat nutrient dense foods, you're not going to be able to eat 3,000 calories of steak and sweet potatoes and get the fuck out of here. It's going to be so uncomfortable and not necessarily healthy. It could be really uncomfortable for you to eat that much. And if you talk to any bodybuilders or you listen to interviews and stuff like that, it's always about the food. If you watch pro bodybuilders and watch them train, some of them don't look like they train super hard. Like the pros, like some of them really do train hard, but a lot of them are just taking tons of juice. They are eating so much food. It's all in the kitchen. It's all like getting that big and getting to that size. You need to eat so much food. And this is what I always say when people are asking me, well, how come I can't build muscle, or I'm struggling building this, I'm struggling getting more size? It's because they're not eating. People forget how hard eating is. Such a job in itself, which is why I really do. I just gravitate more now to eating one time a day, because I think I'm scarred from trying to eat so much food all the time for years. It's exhausting. I'd rather be more thin. I'd rather be less muscular. I'd rather be more lean and defined than big, inflamed, sore all the time and be stuffing down so many calories every fucking day. I'm not in a bulking mood right now, a bulking mode. I'm in more of like a shape, like performance, power, endurance, kind of, but more mobility and strength. I really do like how I feel. And I've definitely downsized like a lot of people during the quarantine, but I'm not going back to super, 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 super heavy. Plus, I don't have access right now to a squat rack. I mean, squats are so fundamental but I'm doing tons of kettlebell squats and heavy kettlebell swings and things like that. So I'm still getting the overload, but the feeling after those types of sessions that I've been doing, and I send you all Swole texts when I'm doing some of my sessions, like the soreness or the fatigue is a lot different. The overload is different. The intensity is different. And the way I feel after a session is so different. It's so different. I like being sore. I like feeling like I worked out. I like being sore and feeling tight, but I don't like feeling crippled. I'm tired of feeling crippled. Tired of feeling crippled. When you really train hard, you're doing bodybuilding style training, you are fucking crippled after a workout. It's really not comfortable. It's not comfortable to maintain that kind of breakdown chronically. It's very stressful on the body. Combine that with your digestive system just getting overloaded with calories all the time, all the time, all the time. It's a lot of eating. It's a lot of food. It's a lot of food, and it's every fucking day. Every fucking day. All right. So getting back to the question, even, the foods for breakfast, that's just culture. Because you can have eggs for lunch, you can have eggs at 6 a.m. And don't forget, if you're eating eggs at 6 a.m. in some place in the world, it's 6 p.m. Just eggs. It's just eggs. I think the question is, would you want to have salmon at 9 o'clock in the morning? Maybe not. Maybe you don't feel like that flavor, so don't eat it. Doesn't mean it can't be a breakfast food. It just means you don't want to have sardines at 9 a.m. or salmon. Maybe you don't want to have a steak in the morning. I don't want to eat anything anymore in the morning. I just have my coffee. I have my hydration. I'll eat later on, maybe have some fruit or something in the afternoon, but I like to have my meals, my heavier stuff later in the day, and I just fucking feast. I like that shit.